Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, God, for that quick. Whatever I just said there. So that's what, I have an agenda. I don't have, who's going right there? Let's see. It's scary. Okay, then we'll do a roll call.
Johnston,
Here,
Small,
here,
Brady,
here.
Drummond. Here. Yeah. You,
Yeah, I guess. So we gotta get the calendar all mixed up, I guess. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 30th, 2023 regular meeting
As amended.
as amended. What's amended?
on the very last, it's what you have, what you're gonna find is correct. I had Yax, seconding a motion, he wasn't even here.
Well, there's a couple of others too.
Yeah, and then he was included in a roll call.
He seconded a motion.
Yeah,
And voted yes on it.
it was just a motion that was made from the prior meeting, I had to delete, cut out the whole motion.
Nothing that was. Made any difference.
Okay, then,
I would support.
you support the amended minutes from September 30th and 40th. Any further discussion? Basically just got to pull Dave out of it.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We'll launch straight into the public comment, limited 3 minutes per person, identify yourself, if you would please, anybody in house? Yes.
I just wanted to introduce you guys to the new description clerk for equalization. This is Rayanne Rasmussen. She started on the 19th, I think it was. 23rd. No, what is today?
Oh, we know.
That's another day.
Last week, how about this week?
Yes, yes, and she's been doing great, so.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else public comment? I don't think anybody logged in online, so we're gonna move on to presentations, ACCOA budget review.
Thank you.
No. Not sure where to stand, so.
Anywhere you like.
Well, my name is Wendy Bain. I'm the new ACCOA Executive Director. This is our proposal that has, I guess, been the first time in several years that it's been approved by the actual board of directors, which they approved on. I'm not sure the calendar, but it was last September board meeting, last week, the week before. So I know a couple of the things on there are programs that we have, and like I said, I'm kind of new, so I don't know a ton about all of the programs, but I know a couple of them, like the kinship program may be a little over budgeted, but our congregate meals have really went up in the last few months, so we may be able to allocate some of the funding to that. And whoop. You're welcome. But the congregate meals and the Meals on Meals, I've only been there 3 months and we've been seeing a huge increase. We're getting probably anywhere from 20 to 30 people for the evening meals. Last night, I think we had 37 people for congregate meals. We started doing some activities that the seniors had requested before the meals to bring them in. We've been doing trivia, bingo, one of the things is crafts they'd like to do, so we're gonna try to start doing some of those, and then on October 12th at 3 p.m., we're having our groundbreaking at our new facility, and you guys are more than welcome to come.
At what time?
At 3 p.m. on October 12th, yep.
So as presented here, you outlined, as it applies to the money that you get from the millage, right?
Yes,
Reading here?
yes. Thank
Anybody
you.
have any questions? No one?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we receive the, expenditure and revenue as presented by ACLA, based on the anticipated millage for the coming year.
Move supported. Any other comments, questions? It wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, probably.
No,
That's good.
thank you.
I sensed your relief as we wrapped up, and there was no further questions. That being said, we have to roll call this, yes. So, we'll roll call that motion, please.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes,
And next up. Unfinished business. I put together, cost allocation. Monies here. This is, what we've historically in the last 3 or 4 years have been charging outside. Outside of the general. General fund, anything with a. Large. Fund balance or else, village. You can take these numbers, I'll tell you one right now, if you look down on the vets one, that number is wrong. I have to look at that. But, all these other numbers I got from the, 2022. Allocation study. So, one thing you'll notice, and I had to go back and check 5 times, maybe I'm still wrong, but. The allocation study came in less for the ambulance one. Which was interesting. I'll also comment that,
well, so did the, 911, just by a little, but still.
yeah, so.
The
This is
library-
still, treasurer clerk only, and then underneath is the IT recommendations for services. And I'm not gonna ask you to vote on it today, that'd be silly, because I just give the numbers, so. You take a look and give me your questions, concerns, What I would like to do though, is if you could give me some kind of, indication. I don't think we have to vote on this, the ultimate votes when we, approve the budget, really. But if you could come back and let me know what your thoughts are, so we can get it input in the 2024 budget.
So I did have a conversation with Jennifer Blue about, after looking at the cost allocation.
No.
Drug court has a fairly sizable cost allocation number attached to it. It's entirely grant funded. The first paragraph of the cost allocation. Credit says for any of the groups that are either grant funded or mortgage funded, is what they produce. So she's looking in to see, she's never been around the drug court being cost allocated, so that may get it on in there. I hope it does.
At one time, we had that, and
For
we
drug
did a separate allocation. For certain court services, and drug court was included in one of those.
Yeah.
And at the time, depending on the grant, it was not, it was quickly removed because it was not allowable, and that grant was about 6, 7 years ago.
You gotta run it down and see if there's any possibility. How long ago was that? Do you remember?
Maybe 6, 7, it was before she got here,
Okay,
because Alyssa was doing that.
yeah.
Wasn't there a time when, one of the employees in the clerk's office was gonna be, or had court jurisdiction under the court or something?
They were trying to do
I
that.
never had.
No, a lot of the counties weren't happy with that. Because you moved into a trial court as opposed to separate courts.
they were gonna try to make them, the court employees, all state employees.
Oh, I see.
And so I wouldn't have had any control over shipping court strictly, no CPLs or marriage license and none of that. And
Okay,
I'm sure it was the same across the state.
okay. All right, so that's that, just kind of give me your indication and we can throw that in the budget, releases to the different departments here. Next up, EMS overtime incentive. What is that expired currently?
Well, at the end of October, correct, Tony?
Yes.
But she's trying to get her time sheets going for November, December. We gotta know. We're gonna extend that. We still have not, as far as I know, we haven't changed our status on manpower. So they like to extend it to the end of the year.
Anybody in the appetite to put forward a motion on that?
I'll make that motion, that we extend the LOU that we have with EMS union to continue till end of 2023. Then we'll address it then.
I'll second.
It already has all the language in it. If manpower gets back up, it goes away. If anything changes in that, that's already said in there. So we just extended it. For months. It has been effective, not 100% effective, but it has been.
It has not been.
Has been.
Has been 100%.
Has not been 100%.
Okay, that's what-
But there has been an increase in people picking up overtime, so.
And so can you forward the information to finance for the changes for the increased needs
Yes,
financially?
Yep.
So we can amend the budget.
Do we have any kind of ballpark numbers of how much so far has cost in addition? I'm not putting anybody in a spot. If it doesn't exist, that's
I
fine.
heard the number, but I don't know what.
I don't know.
I think it was under 10,000.
Yes,
At
and
this
it
point.
was, actually within $1,000 of what we were paying for our two full timers when they were when we figure in insurance. And so we were really quite surprised it wasn't that much extra because we don't have to pay benefits then.
And Tony, we got one new hire, correct?
Yeah, one new hire, part timer basic. Yes, recently.
Okay.
Any other
No
questions or
full
comments? Oh, sorry. Tony.
We have no new full timers and nomadic specifically.
Okay. Hearing no comments, and we'll go to roll call.
Johnston,
Yes,
Brumman.
Yes.
Brady,
Yes,
Small.
Yes.
oh, next up is claims.
may you read it? I never get to do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between 9/20/23 and 10/4/2023 for check numbers 151,900 to 152,045. And e-check numbers 2209 to 2220 for a grand total of $1,910,924.17. Well, I really picked a good one to.
It's gonna be fun to.
Are you seconding or am I?
Go ahead, Terry, second by Terry. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, roll call please.
Brumman.
Yes.
Brady,
Yes,
Johnson,
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
motion carries. Next up, Mary's defined contribution plan adoption agreement. Stephanie, can you walk us through this, please?
This is based off of the POLC tentative agreement in regard to their defined contribution because of the increased contribution rates by the employer and the employee. They had to do a carved out plan because they won't match the rest of the defined contribution employees in the building or new hires going forward. So this had to be created specifically for that purpose of that POLC.
Is there paper in here on that or
No,
No,
It was in the attachments. That were emailed to you.
not? Okay. So in order to address the increase in defined contribution,
It addresses differences is what we address. It has to be a.
There, it was in, it was
oh,
emailed.
maybe I didn't make copies, I just attached it in your email.
I saw it, I just, they're saying we don't want that.
I'm trying to find the percentages that are on here.
But we approved the contract, so we know the percentage. This just says that we have to. Approve the special. Rating on cargo for them. So that being said,
I'll make a motion that we
What's that, Mark?
approve whatever emergency asking for to do the cargo for. You know, the LC or the deputy union. I'll second.
It's on the next page.
so the motion to approve the emergency fine contribution plan adoption agreement and a second by Terry. Motion was by Greg. Questions, comments, concerns? Roll call, please.
Brumman,
no,
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes,
Johnston.
Yes.
that's what. Next up. Veterans Affairs Grant. So last meeting, we all received a copy of this grant, the Veterans Affairs. And we all had a chance to look it over. So I'll make a motion to approve the Veterans Affairs grant. Or who is supported? Questions, comments, concerns? Roll call, please.
Brumman,
yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yes.
Brady.
Oh, yes, yes, me too. Moving on. Intergovernmental agreements, 9 days early voting. Stephanie, this is definitely you.
Okay. The Bureau of Elections did a template that counties could use. That basically covered everything that could possibly come up. Other counties didn't wait around for the state to prepare that, and they sought their legal counsel, and so there were already draft versions that varied slightly dependent upon what worked for each county. I didn't use the template for the Bureau of Elections, basically because a lot of what was in there were geared towards larger counties, counties that have absent voter counting boards, counties that actually have election administrators, election build, elections are held in buildings, not even, in the county building at all. So this was a much simplified version on what the county, so not just me as the clerk, but as the county would provide services with the locals together to work the 9 days, and just for the march through the presidential primary. That will be held here at the county building just to get through the first one, and we have a secure place to lock everything up. And this could change by August. It could be, there could be another central location that's secure, or November, but just for this first one, this is to get through this year. The agreement is for a year, but it can always be amended to change. And this was presented to legal counsel, and he reviewed it, and it seemed good with him. But because it's not just a contract, it says contract services that I will provide, because it's in the building, it's the county, and I wanted to present it to you for approval.
You'll be signing that. It's you who signs it or we who signs it?
it will be me that signs it and I can put you guys on there. Oh, look, I didn't put a signature line for myself.
We don't need to be.
Put all 12 town, or 12 townships in here.
What,
Here.
it talks about fees for services provided. When does that schedule become available?
Fees for the services that are provided, I can't charge for myself, because it's my duty to do it.
Yeah.
And it's my deputy's duty to do it for the hours that she is here working.
Okay.
Okay, that does not provide for Saturday and Sunday hours. And the fee, I have to see with the Bureau of Elections if I can charge her wage fee back to the townships, or if it's as an election worker fee. And that fee for her extra hours, either before 8:30 or after 4:30, will be tallied, and that will be charged back and divvied up between the 12 townships. And at this point, those were the only fees that we're charging for. Election, the townships will be responsible for their day, their people, they will pay for their people, their workers, and they will conduct, I'm just coordinating it with them.
What I didn't see in here, was an indication, you know, it certainly addresses it, but it's signatory for the county.
Yeah, this is for you to look at. This is. We can put the county on there, we can put the clerk, whatever you want.
So our responsibility is we're providing the building.
Right.
She providing the clerk services.
The clerk's in charge of election.
Yeah,
We don't have to.
so for us, it would be the building. And we're gonna need any more janitorial stuff gonna happen, or something.
We don't have to even go. Really?
I would agree with that, but.
Yeah. Well, you're asking.
She's agreeing with that too. That's fine.
You just want us to-
I just wanted to present it and
Let you know you're gonna have a full
It looks
room.
like
I'm taking your room.
Well, not just a full room, we're gonna have voters in and out.
Yeah.
And there could be some.
I don't think you'll have many.
You like them?
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
It's new. I don't think that there'll be a big turnout. I could be totally wrong.
Well, maybe we'll just run it this time, and if we see that there's gonna be. Place is gonna get flooded
Because,
up and destroyed, well, I'm only one to mark it off.
because of those 9 days, your electronic poll book, when you run your scan your driver's license and you're inputting your people. For that 9 days, all the township clerks are still gonna be taking in AVs and registering people to vote in person. And so every single night, that thumb drive's gotta be. Whatever the locals did that day, uploaded into the poll book, so I can do that in my office. I can also, the state's now made it that the county clerk can register people the same day, so any of the girls can register people if they walk in and fill out an application, verify their residency, we can still register them to vote, and then, because it's gotta be done every day, and that equipment's gotta be like, just get through this first one so we can even figure out, because it's a learning process of what's even, how it's gonna work, so.
I think we should send an invitation to every individual in Lansing that voted yes.
Do we have an idea on the IT load here? Are they gonna need John's, Wi-Fi hookups and all that jazz?
No. No, because you can't be connected to the Wi-Fi.
For their voting stuff or none of that stuff, that's all
Mm-mm.
self-contained and.
Correct.
Is this for the entire year? Next year for both?
It is, but if it changes and something comes up, we can amend the agreement.
So, okay. Does it say, I don't, forgive me, but does it say in here for the year of 2020?
Yes, it does.
2024?
It does.
Okay, good. The next thing, and this is recommendation, you can take it if you leave it, doesn't matter to me. But maybe in the fees services provided, you might want to come up with kind of a. Even if it's a pie in the sky number, to say not to exceed. You might get some clerks that go, well, I don't even know what you're gonna charge.
And that's why they wanted this, because they're already taking it to their respective board.
Okay,
Yeah.
it might be helpful to have something like that,
I don't know if they thought I was gonna say,
not to
Yeah.
exceed number.
because there's one county I saw, their contract goes for 3 years, and the clerk will do it, and you will pay the certain fee and and I'm like. Because they have election administrators, so they're charging their election administrator fees back to not the elected county clerk. And so they're charging for those, right? Well, we don't have that, so
Well, it's just my 2 cents.
our fee is very, very minimal. Let's get through learning how to do this. Get through the presidential primary and then amend if we need to, or whatever fees and go, oh, I didn't think of that, you know, we need to amend that. Yeah, that's gonna be an extra fee.
You might want to hire an election administrator after the first year.
You aren't just a kid. This is becoming a lot.
One of the things under the insurance, if I am reading this correctly, it indicates that the county will maintain the following insurances.
All that working comp and all the different. Yeah, it's-
Under 8B, it talks about the insurance. Coverage shall include all owned vehicles, I'm assuming that's county owned, all non-owned vehicles, and all hired vehicles. What would a non-owned vehicle, non-county owned vehicle, but why would we be insuring that?
I am not an insurance guru. That is the verbiage that legal counsel came up for other courthouses where these elections are being held.
Same liability you have right now.
For
people
any
pulling
public,
in.
for anybody sitting here in the audience,
True enough.
would be a non-county owned vehicle.
Right. But we would be insuring their vehicle?
It's in the verbiage that you have now in your insurance, MMRMA's they're, it's this,
It's the same as their current policy.
correct.
Not a collision, it's a life.
It's not. It's just extending it to the,
Any,
outside of operating hours, right?
correct, and any public person, anybody that walks, trips and falls on the ice or on the crack in the sidewalk, all of it.
That's much different than auto insurance. I think, isn't it? Just a little?
Say building top fire, it's all.
Cover their workers' liability.
Would be if somebody smashed into your car.
You have a motion to approve this yet, or the, what are we gonna?
We're not doing that.
You don't even have
This
to-
is just showing us what's up. We have an opportunity to.
I never.
As we go through it, I mean, we probably, none of us will probably be here, but you just, I mean, if you see where there's costs that are happening, that, like building costs for some reason, any issues like that. Not security wise, is that people are gonna do their own security.
Correct.
Back and forth, right? I mean, all the clerks.
Just feel like they're hall, but they're on this one.
Right.
All right, thanks. Haynes Township has forwarded a solar ordinance to us. I had no indication from them whether or not they wanted to hurry up and push us through. But with solar is being the way it is right now. Well, exactly the one that.
I do have a few questions on.
Sure, absolutely.
On page 1. It says, add the following. Now, I know, I see a line through that, together, but. If, do they need to replace or delete it? When it says add the following, what are you gonna add it to? Well, the only thing you can add it to is what they've got their line to.
Well, I think when it's struck out, that means that's leaving.
But then,
It used to be, there was only one definition. Solar energy structures. That was the only, I think that's a definition. That
Oh.
definition is going, and they're putting in all these new definitions.
Yep.
okay,
The old ordinance just had solar energy structures to cover everything. Now they're line item, every single structure involved in the system.
well, I guess from my perspective, to say replace with the following would have been a little clearer, etc. Going over to page 5. 13B. Well, through much of this, they use a phrase, third party. I want to know who gets to pick that third party. But under 13B, who gets to decide if it's financially feasible? It's financially feasible as determined by who? And I would move on down to 15 to the abandonment.
Yeah.
What if the person doesn't pay? They either don't have the means, or maybe great grandpa Joe died and young whippersnapper says, I don't want to have anything to do with all of that. I didn't find, okay, they're talking about a
So if you go back a little bit. To the performance guarantee. They, it's on page 7.
but when the property is transferred to somebody else,
Well, somebody else isn't gonna own the solar. The solar's gonna be owned by the solar company.
By the lessee.
The landowner doesn't own anything. Only the land that the solar is sitting on.
and it's rented, but if the solar company walks away,
So they have to be bonded. That's one of the things they're making them do, be bonded and all clean up.
I saw that.
I don't, and I've said the same thing. You can do all that you want, but if everything goes belly up, I guess they can.
The solar company was bankrupt and then all bets are off.
Yeah, I mean, but they're doing, I think the most they can do is make
many
them.
of the pharmaceuticals are doing, so they don't have to pay their share of the full share of their
So if you go back to page 12, it says abandonment, if the storage system owner has an intent to abandon, and does abandon.
which part of 12 are you reading?
Top of page 12, where it
Oh, I'm
says
sorry.
abandonment. So, yeah, it looked like, I mean, it's, if they don't clean it up, then the township will, and then they'll try to go after the money, which is, that's gonna be hard if they're gone, but.
I got to imagine that the cleanup after abandonment is significant, approaching the cost of having put it in originally.
So that whole last 2 pages are all discuss the abandonment. Page 12, 13, and 14, all the way down to the performance guarantees, the decommissioning plan.
Speaking of 13, if you go to 5.3.3. I think that our emergency management program needs to be added in to the notification with, as does the fire department. And I just think they should be added to that list. And we have all the information on the oil wells and all of that. And we get the annual reports from those that are active, not the inactive ones. Then if you go to page 14, number 7. I would suggest it reads currently other procedures as determined necessary by the township. I would offer the thought of other procedures as determined necessary from time to time by the township. I can imagine where 5 years in, something comes up and township feels they need to have some kind of a modification or procedure change. That would allow them then to do that at any point.
I'm thinking this whole thing is under the abandonment title. And these are all concerning if the place is being decommissioned and being shut down. All these emergency operations. This is all, I think it's all, isn't it?
Well, it's the emergency operation plan.
Oh, I guess so, yeah, it says, application requirements. Yes. I got you.
Well, I
Well,
for the safety of those around. if we go to S3, where I am suggesting that we ask them to insert emergency management, that, this is for the well-being of those who might be in the area, in the surrounding, have property in the surrounding area. Then on page 15, I mentioned this earlier. It talks about a technical analysis by a third-party qualified professional. Who gets to decide who that person is?
The township. Their ordinance.
Does it say it's township? It says third-party qualified. I would agree with you. That it ought to be able to be the township, but by reading this, it doesn't say. So the company said, oh, here's our third-party professional. The third-party professional who's in the hip pocket of the company.
Oh, yeah, looks like it.
They sort of asked for,
Yeah, it is. For everybody.
Yeah, and,
Them guy probably, they want to put this together pretty much.
probably, probably.
It looks like they would.
That doesn't say that NEMCOG is right.
I would say we reserve the vote and Commissioner Brumman can send that for notes. And we can address it if they'd like. Yeah. Yeah, 30 days. They got 30 days to send them a note and tell them, hey, you might want to look at this.
Yeah, if there's no motion on the table, what we're done. Yours to consider. Moving on, finance report. Dave's not here. I haven't had to talk to him the last couple of weeks, but I do know, and I will say, and probably I'll take a good line share this responsibility of this, is that we are behind the 8 ball on getting the budgets out to the departments for 2024 review by about 3 weeks, where we wanted to be. Work to rectify that right now. And trying to get that process sped up a bit. Part of that process was the cost allocation monies there and IT costs. We have to review. Oh. Know what the new sheriff contract and how it impacts all that stuff. So it's not where we want to be.
But you will be receiving them this evening and from here on out, randomly, rapid fire to each department on a random basis. Just so you're prepared. They started going out today.
Okay. That's it for finance, double personnel.
We introduced Ryan, which is doing well. Getting the ground running and equalization. I know David asked me if it had any interest on the director's position. If not, I've seen nothing. It's probably a discussion we're gonna probably bring forth at the next meeting to generate some sort of RFP or something, send it out for contract and see if we get any bites on anybody who wants to propose a contract for the position. It doesn't seem like we're getting any kind of employee interest or hiring interest.
and we can do that if the board, I guess we could ask for that direction now if you'd like. We could produce some sort of a request for proposals. And get that out and going,
For contracting
director.
equalization. Yeah, because we also need to figure out, I mean, I think we're only up through October. with
Yeah,
our current
we got a
contract.
month now, so we need to.
So we need to put something together, what we're gonna do about November, December. So you're proposing a motion to
Produce an RFP, request for proposals on. I'll send out a proposal sheet and say, what is you, have people give us an idea of what they would charge us to do this office.
Okay.
Request for bid, basically.
Would you eliminate your current, I mean, you have current ads out there for,
No, I think we'll just leave it there. If something, I think we leave it in there. And see, you never know.
the attempt to have an in and house person.
Well, we're attempting that, but
That's
if
what
someone
I'm saying.
still comes forth and is at the last minute, if we were to get 3 bids. And then I think somebody came forward and said, I'm really interested that I think the board would more have an appetite to interview a person for the position before we contract them. But I felt like that was what the hope was gonna happen.
So you would maintain your ad,
Both,
you would have 2 running it, okay.
Yeah, seeking bids would eliminate the. option
Yeah, and
of
I don't-
having a-
We would probably identify, the major players who are in this. And just send it to them. I don't know if we're actually gonna advertise it. I think we'll just send it to all the people who do it. And they give us an idea.
We need a motion for that, we'll just go ahead and do it,
I don't,
Put out a request for proposal, you
Yeah.
don't wanna do that.
then yes,
okay,
are you making a motion?
I will.
All right, move to seconded.
Specific to the monkey thing?
So we're gonna produce a request for proposals for equalization contract services. Equalization office contract
And
services.
or, not and, or.
No, just that. That'll be a standalone. The other thing's gonna stay out
Still
there.
staying.
Still there.
Okay.
And once we get it written up, we'll give it to everybody and make sure we cover it. Okay. We'll try to get that out in the next week.
Okay, move to seconded, any more comments?
Roll call.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yeah.
Small,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. Anything else in personnel?
We did have an initial meeting with the court union, steelworkers union, Jennifer and Terry and I met. Nothing really, I don't think we need a closed session for anything. It's just basic overview that you may know, Brandon certainly knows, it's a 4-county group that gets together and talks. We have 2 employees in the union, the 4 counties, so. It's on the initial stages. No problem. Initial stages, no problem. Command. Yes, command.
I was just gonna ask you, get that request from them, right?
We did.
Sorry.
Yep. You said it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, then we'll move on to the treasurer's report.
Working on trying to get the information for the budget and a lot of different. Fiscal year and stuff going on with the state, the revenue sharing and incentive program. I think that was reported last week in regards to the dashboard. At the last meeting. The dashboard and to enable us for the 2024 payments for the fiscal year for the cooperative reimbursement. Dashboard is being prepared right now, and there are some other reporting needs, and there is a new date for required documentation of December 7th, as opposed to in the past, excuse me, it was later in December. But we are good because we have the contract that's working out, they're working on that right now, so we'll have that information and hopefully you can set up a budget workshop either at the end of this month. Because we'll have the tentative budgets out to the departments before the week's end. And that will give them 2 weeks and possibly a workshop in that second last week of October. For you to start thinking about and looking at what we have. We have the revenue, we're working on the revenues and also putting the recommendations from finance in for the cost of insurance. I don't know where that election part, where the election for what you're doing with the insurance, there was just a blanket statement of a percentage.
Okay.
To be put on there, but we have not had any. I don't know where the insurance quotes are or where that is. So what we're doing is doing a basic overview so people can get busy. There's a lot of people that have, look at there.
We meet with her tomorrow. She'll be here, Jennifer from 44 North, and she'll have the insurance rates. So even though you guys feel like you're behind, I'm kind of glad, because should be here tomorrow, we'll have rates. So we'll be able to fill that in hopefully by the end of the week and shoot them off, or,
Well, then you have to decide what you're doing about insurance, so that would be prior to making a hard sell on budgets, so
We
at the
can't, yeah.
end.
None of that impacts what we're sending out this week.
No, it's just going out with a straight 15% increase. But the insurance is yours to decide where you are, because you have to make your elections for this year's. And then we have to have people opt in or out, and also elect what they're going to do, what, based on what you're offering. And so, but we need the tentative numbers.
Okay.
To go out. But for the hard numbers for the HSAs, if that's what you're gonna go with, or deductibles, that's all on what your choices are for offering to the employees for the county. Based on what she's getting tomorrow.
Okay,
So it's all good. And that's really all I have. We had 2 sales that were canceled. They didn't pay for the properties. They were reoffered at the sale. They both went. So that report is similar to the one I reported, but they're 2 years behind in the reporting for the state and for you. I have no problem putting another report, just so you have an idea of what's upcoming for the next year's report. But I will present in June of next year, or September of next year, for the required reporting, but I can give you the heads up on that. Moving forward, we haven't heard any movement on the lawsuits. There was a hiatus in the public course. Haven't heard any movement on that, so as soon as I do, I will let you know. And I don't know if anyone has any questions.
anybody else? We're about to get a huge interruption here for everybody that their cell phones on, FYI.
Oh, that's right.
The 20 super alarm is gonna happen here. I know you're waiting on the call, though, Carolyn, so. Just FYI, for you. All right, clerk's report, please.
She just mentioned the lawsuit, and I did not bring down the opinion. Yes, I did. It's 74 pages long, if you want to read that, and this is in regard to the county lawsuit with Microridge v. Elkhorn County and others. Basically, the opinion came down to the judge ruled in favor of the county. So we're dismissed. The other defendants are not. They will be going to trial, but basically the county, we're all done. So. Also, yes, Jennifer is going to be here tomorrow with the insurance rate. We're meeting her at 11 o'clock. The township clerks all received their ballots and are starting to process EVs. Harrisville has a new township clerk, and she's in the first steps of being trained. She's already gotten her election accreditation, which is great. She just started a week ago. And then Samantha Shot.
Oh,
Yes. And that's all I have. So if you want to read the 74-page opinion, I can have that.
I think you said it to it.
One of the largest opinions, I think, that's a biggie. And I do have the cover letter where our attorney Kristen Rewa from NMRMA basically just sums up what happened, and as far as all the other defendants, they're still going to go to trial. And then you have your communications. Also, I did not print off all of those resolutions, so they're all resolutions you both have passed, either in regard to the the wind and solar energies and the septic tank code.
Not done that this week. They were supposed to fill that out, I didn't, so. Last meeting, I said I would do that, remember?
Oh, except you take thing.
They approved me to fill that template out. For the, remember that in a minute?
It didn't end up having to have any roll call vote.
Okay.
Yay, nay, none of that. I put our certification on it and I sent it to Derek Malat with Mac.
Good, yeah.
It's
Thank you.
done. You're welcome.
Communications in your packet, browse at your leisure, committee reports, Craig.
Nothing. Oh, I don't have anything. Veterans are meeting right now. I don't think they got their budget stuff, right? They're budgeting today.
We sent it last week.
They got theirs, okay, so that's what they're doing today. At Old Dog at their building site. I don't know when footings are going in, hopefully soon. Parks and Rec. No, nothing there. Nothing, that's it.
Okay, I don't have any, reports today. What do you, Terry?
We talked already about personnel. I attended an NEMCOG meeting which we talked about the materials management plan. That Jesse's working apparently on too. Mr. Tucker from NEMCOG wants to come to the next meeting to address a couple of issues. One would be this material management plan, the other one being park erection questions. Attended the district health meeting and also the senior meeting that they had on Monday, where they're talking about the dams, what they're gonna do, mostly getting input right now. There's another year before anything's gonna be decided because they've basically said, let out. If somebody wants to buy those things, we're gonna give you a year to show interest. So probably nothing's going to happen for another year. The way I'm looking at it. And that's it.
What's the material management with that?
Oh, management plan was. Something that, yes, he does.
Like for landfill or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Landfill program. I think there's a partial part of it's going to have to be recycled. Recycling is quite out, recycling area.
Recycling is going to. Someone taking stuff up.
Well, we have to have.
I'm so glad you volunteered to work with
Volunteer, I got. NEMCOG is in, and the other thing is, so NEMCOG really does reach. Praise them. I do a good job of doing this, and they do this for all the counties that are part of their plan. So, him coming, Mr. Hunt coming to the meeting, I'm sure he'll give that, also I'll pass it on to Jesse. Hopefully he'll be able to be here too, and we can kind of iron out the particulars. There's parts of it, I guess the main part of it, we have to sign on to get it started, or we lose that right to use it. That's the big thing. We don't want to lose, we want the state to get it dictating. So that's why we have to do it.
Okay. Carolyn.
911, Kathy's doing a great job. We just had a couple of staff meetings and things are going well over there. They do have one of the ABLs installed in the vehicle, and it's not real clear from the next one. Every time we have ordered the new hand dryers for both the bathroom, the staff, and the public bathroom. Opioid committee, I had the opportunity to meet with Joyce Petro. She is the Northern Michigan Opioid Response Consortium leader, which is an element of the Michigan Center for Rural Health. I was very pleased to have the opportunity to meet with her last Wednesday at the Sunrise Center meeting. And I asked if she would have a few minutes afterwards if we could talk. And I said, you know, we are going relatively slowly, which we agreed, the committee agreed at the beginning, we were not going to raise in and spend every dollar. Just as we got it, we're going to put the fine and try and make sure we're going the right direction and, that type of thing. We have involved community, which many have not. According to Joyce, like there are a few counties that have utilized the money to pay for, deputies. And ultimately, some of them are going to end up and doing their regular thing and calling it opioid reply. He was very pleased with what we were doing. She said, actually, she's the model that you're doing is exactly what they wrote and what they wanted. I felt pretty good about that. I was able to come back last Wednesday to our opioid meeting and share that with the, and share that with the, sometimes going slow is hard to do with some people. And, but it was, I was very pleased to hear that we've been told that before. I talked to Nancy before, with this opioid stuff. They have said one of the things that came up very, very early was the, connecting with the community. And we did that. We had something in the newspaper. But it's, I'm pleased to throw it as well as there's, rains. And the other thing that is rather interesting, whoever does pick up those rains, it involves memory. They ought to be on the memory committee. And Sunrise. And any of the other entities that are related to this whole drug culture and drug prevention and rehabilitation. Because they just fit hand in glove. All the things that are happening here are happening because of this, and they all truly tie together. So whoever does end up moving on and taking this opioid committee as they go down through the 18 years that we've got, I hope you all will take into account that they need to be that it's kind of like the ARA site and the theater. They really need to work hand in hand, or at least the freshman needs to know what's left. And the same is true with the opioid side. I've always appreciated, they're always get a chance to comment on it, but yeah, has been very helpful in making sure that reports and stuff is happening and so on. So I appreciate that. And we have COA is moving forward. They had their elections and they will have a new president. Their year starts October 1. As many. And their meeting is the 4th Tuesday of each month, and any and everyone is welcome. So that is also good.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Down to our last section of public comment, 5 minutes, identify yourself in your township. Report in-house. And anybody online? Doesn't appear so, nothing in the comment section. Commissioners, additional comments and concerns? Quick one today. Then we will adjourn the meeting until October 18th.